Hi everyone, my name is Lizzie and I'm an illustrator and an artist from Lizzie Martell Illustration. I am today going to teach you how to draw a very cute Easter bunny. These are the cute little bunnies that we're going to be drawing today. I'm just going to choose one, so I'm going to choose this cute little grey bunny here. Now I've drawn him in advance ready, and can I tell you a little secret? I drew this bunny facing the other way because I didn't want to draw his feet. I can draw his feet, but I prefer bunnies without feet because feet are pretty tricky to draw. So that's the good thing about illustration. You can actually draw it however you want and not maybe how bunnies really look in real life. So it's your interpretation, and that's why I always say, doesn't matter if you make a mistake because it's your interpretation and your illustration. So let's begin. I have got my paper, I've got my fineliner, I've got paintbrush, water and paints, and please use whatever you have at home. So you don't need to have all the things that I've got, just whatever you have to feel inspired. So let's get drawing. So we're going to start by drawing our bunny's head, and just here, just above his nose. So if you get your pens, and you're going to start by drawing a semicircle up the top of his head, just like this. And then what we're going to do is at the top of our bunny's head, we're going to do some fluff. So as you did before, get some little dashes going. And then we're going to do this lovely big ear. So our ear starts skinny at the bottom and then it gets bigger as we get up the top. So get your pen and draw skinny ear at the bottom. And then you're going to do a lovely big floppy bunny ear just like that. Just like this one and just like this one. It's almost like a big swoop round, and make sure it goes skinny again by his head. And we're going to keep going around the head, and we're going to do some more fluff because bunnies have got to be really, really fluffy. So keep going with your fluff to make a nice round shape for his head. And then when we get to the bottom, just there, we're going to do a tiny little bit more of his head around. Maybe a bit more than that actually. And then we're going to do his nose. So if you can see here, what I've done for his nose is I've done, oh, let me go show you that. It's a lovely V and then an upside down V on top for his mouth. So I'm going to do a little V and we're going to do an upside down V. And you could even curl around the edges to make him smiley, just like that. And then when we've done his nose, we're going to add his eye and his character. So as before, you can do a cheeky little bunny. You can make him just an eye like that. You could do an eyebrow, which I'm going to do because it makes it a bit different. And then you've got his character and his face. So when we've got a nice round head, his face, and you've got his lovely big outside ear that's facing us, we're going to do a second ear. So on the top by his head, you're going to do another second ear. And again, you're going to go skinny at the bottom, big at the top, and go back in skinny. So you've got nice ears, two nice ears. And then we're going to do the inside of the ear that's nearest to us, because this pink part, which we're going to paint later, is the inside of his ear. And so that's facing us. So we're going to copy the outline that we've just done for this ear here. And we're going to go like parallel to our other line, just like that. There we go. So now you've done the inside of his ear and the outside of his ear. We're going to go onto his body. So let's just move that there so you can see it. So we're going to draw his back. So if you start by drawing a line that goes round, so we're going to create this lovely oval shape. But if we start with the line that goes down, you can always add little bits of fluff along the way to make him really fluffy. You could even do fluffy all the way. We're going to create a nice round bottom for our bunny, and we're going to stop when we get to his tail. So you go line, dash, 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 fluff, 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 and then another line. And then we're going to do this lovely poofy, explosive pom-pom-like tail, because bunnies' tails are the fluffiest ever, and so we need to do that really fluffy. So you're going to do a circle of dashes. And the bigger the dash is, the more fluffy your bunny's tail is. Just like this. So that's our bunny's tail. And then we're going to follow from our tail around, and we're going to create like a semicircle here, which is actually going to be his leg. So that's his leg and that's his bottom, and all together we've got a nice oval. But we're going to start by drawing his leg. So what I want you to do is draw a line that comes out from your pom-pom tail and up. And actually what's cute here is if you do a little more dashes, fluffy down dashes, just like that, and then a semicircle to join up the top of his leg. So it's a semicircle, dash, 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 and down, whichever way you want to do it. And that's his bottom done. And we're going to do, lastly for our bunny, is a lovely fluffy tummy, just here. So again, you're getting good at these dashes, I can imagine. I bet you're really enjoying them. They're fun to draw. So you're going to do some dashes for his tummy, just like that. Oh, he's so cute. Look at him, he's really fluffy. So your bunny should look a little bit like that as an outline. And before we go on to paint, we're actually going to paint the Easter eggs. So the way I've drawn these Easter eggs is I've done 3, and I've made sure they look like some are in the front and some are in the back. So we're going to start off by drawing the Easter eggs at the front, because then what we're going to do is we're going to fill in the spaces around the back to make it look like they're sneaking behind the other Easter eggs. And it just makes your drawing look a bit 3D. So if you want to do eggs, great. If you don't worry about it. I'm going to draw an Easter egg just here next to my bunny. And then what I'm going to do is draw another Easter egg next to it, but I'm going to do it behind my bunny's leg. So it looks like it's sort of hiding behind him. So I'm going to start from coming out of his leg. I'm going to draw a shape of an egg. And I'm going to stop when I get to my other egg. And then we're going to imagine where would the bottom of our Easter egg be, and it would be here. So I'm going to just here finish off my Easter egg, but I'm not going to carry on around over the top of the front one. Does that make sense? I hope so. So these are the 2 Easter eggs, and now it looks like you've got Easter eggs that are sort of 3D and behind each other. And then we're going to do one last little Easter egg, which I'm only going to draw the top of, to pretend that they're all 3 in a little group there. And you don't need to draw the bottom, do you? Because it's only what you can see from this side. So once you've done your Easter eggs, you can go on to decorate them. So I'm going to do some dots on some spots on my Easter egg by my bunny. And where I can't see the end of my circle, I'm going to do a semicircle, just to make it look like it's carrying on around the egg. And then I'm going to do some stripes on this egg. And actually I'm bending my lines into small semicircles so it looks a bit 3D. And then lastly, this Easter egg that's closest to us, you can do swirls or you can do whatever you want. I'm going to do this kind of, I don't know what this is, just this design. Ta-da! And when you're drawing, it really doesn't matter if you make a bit of a mistake. I don't really like this line here, but it's okay. It's all right, it doesn't matter. I'm having fun drawing, so please, if you're not happy with what you've done, please don't throw away your paper. Keep it and go with it, because you'll always learn from what you have done and mistakes you've made. Make your piece really unique, so keep going with it. So now we've done our drawing, we can put our pens down and we can pick up our paintbrushes. So have a good think, what colour would you like to make your bunny? I have done two types of colours, and they're actually normal bunny colours, but again you can do whatever colour you like. So I'm going to draw this grey bunny here, and oh, I don't know now, I don't know what I feel like. I'm going to start by getting a bit of water on my brush, and I'm going to change it. I'm going to do a lovely kind of light brown bunny, and I'm going to mix my brown because I think he'd look really cute with a pink cheek. So I'm totally changing my mind in the middle of my video. I'm going to add a little bit of pink. So it's going to be actually a pinky brown bunny. Do whatever colour you fancy. So once you've mixed the colour you really like, we're going to start on his face, and we're going to actually not paint his nose, because I think his nose is going to be a little bit of white. So we're going to think, what areas do we want to keep white? And we're going to leave those. And we're going to start by painting the top of our bunny's head. And I'm going to add a bit of water because I actually don't want it to be too dark. And I'm going to just paint his head. That's it. And where the fluff is, you can actually leave a bit of white, so it makes it look like it's white fluff, just like I've done there. So when you've done the bunny's face, get a bit more paint and keep going with the same colour on the outer side of his ear. So we're not going to paint inside because that's going to be pink or whatever colour you want. We're going to paint the outside of his ear, and then we're going to paint all of this ear because that ear is facing away from us, so we don't see the inside. So that's going to be all fluffy as well. In fact, you could have even done fluff on his ear. Maybe do some afterwards. So when we've done his head, his ears, get some more of your colour. If you need to mix a bit more, mix a bit more. And then we're going to do his body. So I actually like to leave his tummy a little bit white. So I'm going to start from here with a lot of water on my brush, and use white for your illustration, just however you'd like. But I like to use white to make it look a bit fluffy. So I'm using a very watery paint at the moment, and I keep adding water to my brush, and I'm not really painting in my fluffy bits. Definitely do not paint your tail unless you want to at the moment with that colour, because that's going to be his body. And can you see, by leaving the white, I've got a white tail, a white tummy, and a little white nose, and it just makes him look super cute. So that's your first layer, and while that body is still a bit wet, you're going to add a bit more paint. Oh, he's very pink now. And then you're going to go again, and you're going to mix that paint. So you're going to do a few dabs by his bottom. Oh, I've got a really pink bunny now. I might have to have a bit more brown. See, mistakes, never mind. And then I'm going to create a darker bottom, because that's going to be at the back of him. So it makes it look a bit more 3D. And again, spread your paint around with water, and doing a second layer will just make your bunny stand out a little bit. And you can add some more dabs by his tail, but definitely not on his tail, just for now. So I hope you can see that he's got a 3D sort of vibe going on there. Oop, I've got a hair on my brush. There we go. Now what you can do at this point is you can take the wet out of your brush, get a little bit of paint on your brush, and you can dab a little bit of your colour around the outside of the tail, just like that. So on the fluffy parts, you can do a few dashes with your paintbrush, and so on that second layer, it could look a little bit like he's got an outline of, on all the dashes, just makes him look really cute. There we go, like he's got fluff in white and also on his body colour. So what we're going to do now is we're going to mix a pretty pink, or whatever colour you want, just for his ear, and also for his cheek. So I've done my bunny, I don't know if you can see, with a cute little cheek. Now we've got to let his face dry. So when his face is dry, which it is on mine, we're going to get a little bit of pink. Now do not use it too thick. Try to use a lot of water here, and you can just do a sweet little round cheek. And then you can use the same pink in the inside of his ear. And it's better to use less paint and have lots of layers than it is to go in with a very heavy paintbrush with lots of paint. So I'm using my paint here, and I'm going to do a few dabs in the ear just to make it thicker at the bottom. Oh, he's looking so cute. I'm glad I did him in that colour. That just feels nice. Oops, I sploshed. Whoops, there we go. Lots of whoopses going on, guys. I hope you're not having as many as me. There we go, and just tidy it up. And yeah, so then that's really wet. So I mean, you could do a little bit more of a dab in his cheek to make that really darker. There we go. But I'm really happy with that, and so that's my bunny. And you can do whatever extra you want. You can add more layers, you can make him have a darker nose, you can colour his nose in a different colour, you can do whatever you want in terms of your colours. See, my paint's very wet here, it's actually leaking into the outside of my ear, but it's okay. I'm sure it would. You can actually take off a little bit of your paint if you want with a dry paintbrush, so I mean I use my hand, but there we go. And then we're going to do the eggs. So this is good chance to use very thick paint because Easter eggs have got to be bright. So I'm going to use bright colours with lots of paint, not so much water. And I'm going to just paint them. I should probably be using a smaller paintbrush. It would be easier when I'm doing detail, but oh dear, yep, I've gone over the lines. Never mind. I'm also shaking a little bit. Maybe I'm nervous doing my video. There we go. So I'm going to add a very thick colour on my Easter eggs because I want them to be really bright and cheerful. And then I'm going to have a blue one. So mix a little bit of blue. It's a good idea to kind of have fresh water around, but I haven't got any, so I'm going to be using it. Otherwise you mix paints in the water and then it gets a bit murky. But I'm going to go with it. And then I'm going to leave these spots white because I think it would look really striking. Can you tell I like leaving white? There's my bunny and there's my eggs. I'm really enjoying doing this. I find it very relaxing. And the last colour is my favourite colour in the whole world, is yellow. Yellow makes me feel very happy. And again, I've used quite a lot of paint on my paintbrush. And I'm using the white to make it stand out and be striking, but you could colour all your eggs in. In fact, I bet you could come up with a much more interesting design than I have. There we go, and we have a bunny and we have Easter eggs. Now you can add some grass like I have, or you can just leave that how it is. And if you, I've just realised, if you want to finish off by adding some more of your original colour, once it's all dry, you can do. I mean, my ear has gone a little bit leaky with the paints. It happens, it's watercolours, they leak. And I'm going to do a second layer on my ear just there. But it just shows you can actually, it doesn't matter how you do your watercolours, just enjoy doing them. There we go. I'm really happy with that. I think it looks sweet. He looks cute. He's got his cheek. He's got his fluffy tail. You could even, oh, here I am. Look, I've got more ideas. Look, this is what happens. You could even not use your outline pen, but do a few sort of light paint sploshes, dashes around him to make him look a little bit more fluffy. You can use paint instead of outline. There we go. Well, either way, I hope you enjoyed painting him and you're happy with your piece. So I really hope you had fun drawing and painting your bunny rabbits and that they're really cute and you painted lots of colourful Easter eggs. Do let me know what you thought of the tutorial. If you liked it and you thought it was really fun and you think somebody else may enjoy painting too, do share my video. And of course, as always, send me your cute little bunnies. I want to see them. I want to see what beautiful creations you've made. And I really hope you'll join me next time for another video. Take care.